Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Looks like the clock just hit 5 p.m. Pacific here, which basically implies that we have a new daily candlestick starting here. And the previous one closed. So we can kind of look at the specific scenario here and see what's going on. And it does look like we were really close to that 58K goal here today. And we do have a potential type of pennant pattern here as well. This is a good sign in most cases, because generally speaking, these do have a tendency of breaking more so to the upside than the downside, just based on where they came from. Again, this is unofficial for the moment, but I will send out a playout chart here soon, just kind of give you heads up on what that looks like. That is available on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Looks a little something like this if you're not familiar. And what we'll do here first is take a look at back-end liquidation data and see what's going on first. I do want to say thank you again so much to my community for just some awesome feedback. Really happy the Premium Plus signals are working really well here today. We took some nice healthy profits from ICP, XRP, Ethereum, and then of course Solana and another XRP trade as well, or ICP trade as well. So again, it's been firing all cylinders there, caught the bottom, bought the dip, but I was sleeping when that happened. So that's why these automated trading bots are really nice to have. Again, it's based on my trading strategy, my day trading strategy. If anyone's not familiar with that, instructions are available in our signals guide, just so you can kind of understand how that works. Okay, it's all there. All right, so back-end data, looking at this here, we got a lot of liquidation again at 60,000. That's no surprise, but that is a very heavy. As soon as the price action entered that 58.5 range, we saw a lot of late shorts here. So some people seem to feel like 58.5 is the top. So we're going to go ahead and see if that's the case. And if we take a look here, we kind of zoom in from the bigger picture, we can recognize that again, there's that 60K mark. That's roughly about 10 billion at the moment. And if we look down below, obviously a whole heck of a lot. So again, we get closer to 56K in that range. There's a solid chance we'll see the price pull back again. But for right now, we are establishing higher highs, at least tentatively. This high right here is higher than this high. Again, it's marginal. It's not super significant, but it is something nonetheless. I had this arrow pulled up here for our community too, because I was sharing a chart earlier, just letting you know that there's a lot of resistance potential at 59K. And the reason why is because that's a 0.618 fib level. We zoom out, that is also our point of control right here. Okay, so again, some big stuff there above us. Doesn't mean we can't get through there. No, it just implies we got a lot of resistance. So that does kind of, give me pause for consideration that, hey, maybe a short at 58.5 is a good consideration, right? Again, different strategies for different scenarios. I don't think you should necessarily short right now. We saw a lot of Bitcoin volume coming through here, and that's definitely something we want to recognize. So let's quickly note here a couple of things here. First of all, SMAs on the daily, we're below all that. That's at about 59.9. Right at 60,000, we got the 20-day SMA. Okay, that's a big deal, right? But the thing we got to recognize here today, too, is that we have a nice little hammer doji candle here. While it wasn't phenomenal yesterday to come all the way down to 55.3 or 55.5, that happened as soon as the market opened. So for the price action to recover back above where it opened and then some for yesterday, that's a very good sign. It's usually showing that the bottom is tentatively in. It doesn't necessarily mean we just take along with no regard, but it does tell us that we held the line. We can see here, there's nothing really bullish here at this point. We can see a second stochastic swing to the downside here, or maybe just say the first after a convergence, and that generally favors a pullback. So generally speaking, the only thing we have really going for us on the daily is nothing. Right? There's nothing. There's no other way around it. Again, we got our point of control at 59,000. Nothing really looks great on the daily time frame as far as bullish behavior. Now, does that just pretty much say that it's not worth taking long or short? Not exactly. It just reigns at this point here, we got to rely on smaller time frames to kind of understand if there's a shift in momentum happening, which I talked about earlier today. We wanted to be above 50 on the RSI. We're not quite there yet. Stochastic increasing. We can see money flow index is tapering off. And of course, we can see MACD here is converging. 4-hour MACD convergence is usually a good sign. I think we're more likely to see the price increase than decrease from here, based on the overall pattern that we're starting to see here with the 4-hour and the hourly. And we are right there at the 20-day SMA, okay? Kind of proves there's a lot of resistance here, which we can see pretty obvious. Again, we got that next 0.5 fib level at about 58.3. That's roughly a resistance here for us. So we are below a lot of resistance. There's no other way around it. But me personally, when I look at the hourly, that's usually going to be a confirming factor. And let's go ahead and take a look here and see it. So Ichimoku cloud in the hourly, we are super close to breaking free from the cloud. The conversion lines above the baseline, the lagging span is now free and clear of the price action. These are 3 out of 3 really awesome reasons to consider a long. Now, I'm not going to say that you want to go crazy. You want to secure profits somewhere between 59 and 60K. However, if you were to take a long, you do have slightly larger statistical probabilities of that price going up from here than down based on the recent price action. Again, a lot of that is based on these massive volume candles. And that's a good sign showing sustainability. Until we can get more volume, there's no real reason why we should expect the price to pull back. Okay. Now, again, I know it seems crazy and weird to think about that. I'm not trying to propose that we get super hard with long positions. The macro is still bearish. There's no other way around it. But with the macro being bearish, how else does it become bullish, right? It needs to have a handful of smaller time frame, that looks good in order to become that, right? So at this point, we look at the hourly, we're looking pretty good. The 4-hour looks fairly solid. The daily is just the only thing lagging, and most coins are also going to exude that same behavior, right? So the truth is, we're probably not going to be breaking bullish until we're 60K or higher. But are we going to probably see a run to 60K? That would seem sensible at this point based on where we're at so far on smaller time frames. So again, if you're going to consider a long, just make sure you're kind of safe and careful. But I really like what I'm seeing here on these on the hourly. And what I'll do is I'll confirm on the 15-minute as well, and just kind of send out a playout chart and see if it's worth considering. But at this point, I'm leaning more towards the price being more likely to increase than decrease, just based on this deriving from the bottom, working itself into a tiny little channel, and essentially we're due for a breakout. With us being above the cloud, lagging spans free and clear, there's a lot of confirming factors that I like to rely on in the hourly that have been very beneficial in the overall sense. So is Asia going to dump the market as soon as here in the next couple of hours? Perhaps. It's happened quite a lot here recently. However, they're probably running out of Bitcoin just to sell. So maybe there's that too, right? Anyways, that's a conversation for another day. At this point, though, I think that slightly more likely to see the price increase than decrease from here. It just seems like a pretty good solid chance here. That's where we're at. I hope that made sense. Thank you again so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.